How do children just vanish without a trace? I mean, children rely on the adults around them, so surely someone knows something. Who's holding secrets among us? And what secrets are held in the days of the disappearances of these children? Hi, and welcome to my channel where I talk about all things disturbing and unsettling around the globe. I try to upload weekly, so feel free to subscribe to be a part of the Abyssal Plane. I'm your host, Lavender. Now let's dive into the rabbit hole. Okay, so I want to start something a little new on my channel where we visit all 50 states and advocate for missing children in each of the states, as well as a Jane Doe. Today, I chose Indiana. So if you don't know much about Indiana, I just want to give you a little bit of background on this state. Indiana is a small Midwestern state nestled right under Michigan. Many people move here for its quietness and cost of living, and it's known as a flyover state. It's also known for its sports teams, such as the Colts and Pacers, as well as its farming industry. Indiana's blue-collar field makes up 45% of the workforce in the state. That being said, it's important to note that Indiana is known for a peaceful, quiet place, as well as somewhere to raise your children. So I want to talk about 3 children who have not been seen, starting with the oldest disappearance and ending with the newest one. Case 1 is the case of Melinda Creech, a 14-year-old who disappeared sometime in 1979 from Anderson. Case 2 will be Ricky Thomas, a 13-year-old who disappeared in November 1997 from Bristol. And case 3 will be Ella Saylor, who is 15 and disappeared February 2024. And the final and last piece will be a Jane Doe. So case 1, like I said, is going to be Melinda Creech. Melinda Dawn Creech, better known as Mindy, was born on September 21st, 1965. She was born with strawberry blonde hair and has blue eyes and a small mole on her left eyebrow. She is reported to have lived in the 2900 block of West Cross Street. She was last seen on September 5th, 1979, making her just 14. She was taken to a juvenile facility known as the Blake House for stealing motorcycles with a fellow male teenage peer on the day she was last seen. Blake House was a branch of the Brandenburg House, a children's home. Blake House was an all-girls juvenile facility on the same campus as the other house, though they were separate buildings. Blake House has since been demolished, but you can visit the main house as it is a historical site in Mound State Park. Approximately 2 months later, when the police came to speak to Mindy about an attempted burglary, she was unable to be located. It's a mystery as to when or how she left Blake House. They never reported her missing, and they were also unsure of the last time she had seen her. Mindy's mother, Shirley Creech, told Mindy's other siblings that she had simply run away from the Blake House. Though they were devastated and worried about her, the siblings had no reason to not believe their mother, as Mindy had a history of running away. About 15 years later, in 1994, Shirley told the siblings that Mindy had been positively identified as a Jane Doe in New Jersey. Again, the family had no reason to not believe their mother, though they found it bizarre that no memorial service was held for Mindy. Shirley passed away in 2003. While her children were cleaning out her belongings and going through, they found 4 letters. One was a birthday invitation for Mindy. One was an unsent letter Mindy had written for her boyfriend at the time, Ricky Williams. Another letter, stating a court date from April of 1980, indicated that Melinda could have potentially been in custody up to then, though this differs with police reports. As well as a letter from the New Jersey Police Department stating that Mindy's dental records were not a match to the Jane Doe found in their jurisdiction. This letter was dated 1990. They were shocked. They could not understand why their mother had lied to them, let alone 4 years after receiving the letters. It is reported that Shirley struggled with dementia in the years leading to her death, and it's believed that this could have been a contributing factor. The siblings filed a report finally in 2004. The brother states on a website linked in the description, Melinda Creech is my younger sister. September of 1979, at age 14, she was picked up by the police in Anderson. After that, the police reports get a little fuzzy. I will never lose hope of reuniting with my little sister. Until then, I keep the candle burning. It's reported that her Social Security has not been used since 1979. Nobody has seen or heard from Melinda Creech, including the juvenile she was arrested with. When Mindy went missing, she was 5'3" and weighed 110 pounds. She has a mole in her left eyebrow. The clothes she was last seen in are unknown, along with any potential belongings she may have taken. If you have any details regarding this case in particular, I have inserted the proper authorities to contact now on screen, as well as in the show notes. I know that case was a little bit shorter. There's not a lot of information known about the case due to lack of police reports and the amount of time elapsing in between the filing of her disappearance and the actual disappearance. So I'm going to jump into the next case. The next case will be Ricky Lane Thomas. Ricky Lane Thomas was born December 21st, 1983 to his mother Tina and his father Ricky Thomas Sr., though he was raised by his stepfather John Martell and his mother in Bristol. He had sandy blonde hair and greenish hazel eyes. Growing up, it is stated that Ricky had behavioral problems, which resulted in multiple violent altercations with his stepdad. In the weeks leading up to the disappearance, a then 7th grade Ricky was expelled from school for making threats on teachers, forcing him to then be homeschooled. When Ricky was especially out of control, his parents would send him to stay with his cousin Daisy. He would stay for weeks to months at a time. He was last seen on November 6, 1997. He was witnessed by his stepfather making a call in their home to his cousin Daisy. Ricky had called Daisy to confirm the plans for him to stay the night with her in Tell City, about 1.5 miles apart. Ricky had stated that he had $20 to buy McDonald's by Daisy's house. Ricky then left home with 2 backpacks, though the money he had told Daisy about for McDonald's remained in his wallet and his dresser. It's also peculiar to note that his 2 hound, 13-week-old puppies were also missing as well. They responded to the names Tiny and Red. His family states it's unlikely he would have brought them to Daisy's. He was last seen walking on Oak Ridge Road in a rural area on his way to his cousin's house. Daisy, concerned about the lack of his arrival, phoned Tina and John. She informed them that he had never shown up. Tina didn't phone the police till the next day, hoping that he would come home later with some excuse as to why he didn't make it to his cousin's. The next day, when Tina phoned the police, she stated that she did not believe he had run away. Police, family, and friends began searching the surrounding area of Bristol, Tell City, and his home for any clues, but to no avail. Following this, the case went cold and no clues have ever been recovered. Tips continue to be investigated. Following the disappearance, Tina, Ricky's mother, received an anonymous phone call stating for her to go to a designated location and she will find proof that Ricky was still alive. When Tina went to the spot that she was directed to, she found a snow globe, which belonged to Ricky. Later, by John's own admission, he confessed that he had planted the snow globe and used a voice changer to disguise his voice while making the call. John did not participate in any of the searches either. Ricky's mother and stepfather have since divorced, and his biological father has passed on due to a suspected drug overdose and is not believed to be connected to his son's disappearance. It's also stated that Daisy believed that Ricky left on his own and would return when he was older, but police suspect it's foul play. When Ricky disappeared, he weighed 170 pounds and was 5'9". He had a small scar on both cheeks and was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with Route 66 printed on the front. Long blue denim jeans. If you have any information about this case or the whereabouts of Ricky, it may be reported to the Indiana State Police Department. I have the phone number listed on the screen now. I have also included an age-progressed photo of Ricky. That being said, let's get into the next case, Case 3, the case of Ella Saylor. Ella Saylor was born January 30th, 2009 in Marion, another city in Indiana, to a very tumultuous situation. DCFS had involved themselves in the home on November 29th, 2013. This was due to the concerns of deplorable conditions. By the time Ella was 5, she was left to care for a newborn sister in a home in which had no running water or electricity. She had no basic necessities, including food. Once a neighbor had tried to help her by lending an extension cord, but eventually they moved, leaving Ella to her own devices again. She and her sister would eventually be removed from the home on January 1st, 2014. DCFS decided to put them in the system. She then bounced around from 8 placements, returning home after each placement failed. DCFS kept giving the biological mother a chance because of reunification standards. This is when Ella's adoptive parents would come into her life, Elizabeth and Philip Saylor. They had trouble conceiving their own child, thus they decided on adoption, and they had already fostered 20 children. DCFS asked if they would take both Ella, who was 7, and her younger sister of 6 months. DCFS was having trouble finding a home that would keep the girls together. They agreed happily and took both sisters in, later adopting them. They would become 2 of 5 total children adopted by Elizabeth and Philip. In 2019, Ella began attending Northside Middle School in Muncie. She was reported to have been socializing with the wrong crowd and was acting out. She was failing classes and disrespecting teachers. This prompted her adoptive parents to remove her from public education and enroll her in an online schooling program in February of 2020. Followed by this was the pandemic, thus she lost her opportunity to attend public school till the fall of 2023. Her mother agreed to let her attend if she continued to work hard in homeschool. Her parents only allowed the children to share one phone. Once in high school, she obtained a phone for personal use through different means. She began using Snapchat. She preferred Snapchat as the messages disappeared. Elizabeth eventually found the device and destroyed it. 1 month after beginning her attendance at public school, Ella ran away for the first time. It was determined that she had changed out of her nightgown and left through the front door between 11:30 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. She left a note behind, "There's no turning away, I've got to go." She would be reported missing on September 20th. Elizabeth would then learn her daughter was using Snapchat. Ella's friend provided her screen name, and Elizabeth was able to guess her password and get into the account. Authorities learned that 2 adult men from Indianapolis were communicating with Ella at the time. It was eventually learned that she had told one of the men her address and asked to be picked up. Luckily, the police were able to figure out her whereabouts. Following this, she was hospitalized at Riley's Children's Health for 2 months for high-risk behavior. One of the 2 men was arrested as well. Upon her return home, she was making accusations of abuse and neglect against Elizabeth and Philip, prompting her to be placed back into foster care until January 30th. The foster family were not aware of her previous habits and had asked for her to be removed. Subsequently, an investigation into her adoptive parents deemed them to not be abusive or neglectful, and she was then returned home on her 15th birthday, January 30th. The adoptive mother reports that she was angry the first night home, but the following 3 days she seemed to improve. The night she ran away was typical. The family ordered Applebee's, and the parents exchanged hugs and I love yous before bed. That was the last time her family saw her. It was around 11 o'clock when she went to bed. The front door was found to be unlocked and unsecure in the morning. She would be reported missing again for the final time on February 3rd, 2024. A statewide silver alert would be issued the next day. No leads or new information came from this. Her adoptive mother states, "We want our daughter home. We want her safe. We want to get her the help she needs." Following her disappearance, her parents revoked their foster license. They pushed for justice, believing the children were removed wrongfully and that they did not conduct a proper investigation. Ella is 5'4" and weighs 230 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She also has braces. Ella was last seen wearing black pajama pants with puzzle pieces and a gray hoodie with the letters Washington, D.C. written on the front. If you have any information regarding Ella, reach out to the Muncie Police Department. This is the number inserted on the screen. I have also inserted a photo of Ella from 2024. This concludes the segment of missing children from Indiana. Now I want to jump into the Jane Doe. This Jane Doe is called the Indianapolis Jane Doe. A woman was found in Indianapolis on February 20th, 2021 at 11:19 a.m. She is suspected to have died from exposure to the elements. Investigators are exploring genealogy in relation to this case. She was 5'4" and weighed 176 pounds. She appeared to be an older woman due to the graying in her curly hair. She is also noted to have had 5 pigtails tied to the side of her head. She was found to be wearing size 12 dress pants, brand Apartment 9, a thin Adidas black hoodie, reading University of Indianapolis, brown zip-up fake leather boots, a black long-sleeve turtleneck, size large, a black and gray swimsuit, size 14, green and brown socks, as well as a metal twisted hoop with clear stones. She has remained unidentified for 4 years. I have inserted a picture of her here. If you believe to know who this is, report it to the Marion County Coroner's Office. I have placed the number on screen now. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for giving me an outlet to be able to advocate for something I'm so passionate about. Keep in mind that families may view this video, so be respectful in the comments. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so you can visit all the 50 states with me. Let's help find these missing children and bring them home. Stay safe out there. See you guys next week.